Hey, good morning. So it's the beginning of April. I think today is like the 4th or 5th. Don't ask me the date ever. And we have ever so many plans going on. So I'm getting on my boots right now. It's like 7:30 and we've been up for a while. We took care of everyone inside. We got microgreens started for the next week for markets. Super important, has to be done. And then what else do we do? Oh, I checked the thirst pit. That is my email. Sent all that out, wholesale info, all that like little maintenance-y stuff that we have to do before we go outside and get working. So right now I'm getting my boots on. Kevin's outside, he's weed eating. We basically just have like a million plants we've got to get into the ground like right now. So really feeling that time crunch. Like we want to go hang out with friends, we want to go to dinner, but yeah, we're pretty strapped out. Today I'm moving the dirt that we had dumped 2 weeks ago into our raised beds. Our tractor isn't working and we're waiting on some parts, so it's gonna be just me and pure muscle today. So that's the plan. Get as much moved as possible, and then hopefully we can get transplanted. Our potatoes and sunflowers and zinnias are number one. Yesterday we went to Riverbeat Growers, which are friends of ours, Vincent Farms. You might know them too. Same family, and just like that's their nursery side, and then the other side is like their farmers market food operation. So we went there, got some plants for the front, because although like we're always focused on our garden and what we're growing, how beautiful it looks, the front of our yard is just like a joke. It's really pretty, don't get me wrong, like naturally it's just gorgeous. You know, we have hanging plants, but our little dumpster dive and rescue dog, she will eat anything, and she literally, anytime we put a plant out, she's taking it down. Like it smells like food, she's getting it. Like she can't handle it. So we got some holly shrubs. She talked me into these really cool guava pineapple bushes for this ugly corner of my house over here where there were satellites that we had ripped out. So I'm gonna put those in there, and I'm really excited. It'll be really green and lush around the front of the porch. We spent a lot of time last summer, painting and getting it all kind of spruced up, because ever since we bought our home, it's been a work in progress. We've been doing a lot of work to it. It's not done, it's not perfect, but I mean, we certainly love it. But we didn't want that either. We wanted a home with character. We wanted a home that would take us time to fix up, and that when we got to it, it would look the way we wanted it to. It's finally the color that we wanted it to be, instead of like that weird brown. So slowly but surely we're getting there. You know, it's not always our first priority. When it's slow and growing season, then, you know, inside the house is kind of where we focus our attention. So it's just time by time we get it done. But anyway, back to the front yard. We're gonna try to get that done today. We also have a friend, Mickey, who we met at Lone Pine Brewery, and he's getting ready to move, and he has a lot of farm stuff that he's never used. It kind of came with the property when they moved in. I'm really grateful. They're kind of like donating it to us, so it's all things that we can use. Fans that we need, buckets for growing, troughs for the horse, for the animals, just little things that we need, rock for bedding, wire, endless amounts of fencing, which everyone knows is like the bane of our existence and never ending. So we're gonna try to make a run to pick that up too. I'll show you guys and introduce you to Mickey, who's just been like the coolest guy. So I'm excited about that. But onward we go to work. Kevin so kindly placed the planters by the bee boxes. So if you saw my pictures from last week, it looks like I had baseballs for cheeks, and my eyes didn't open. I'm hoping that the girls are in a better mood today and not disturbed by that. But there's two just a little too close for comfort. I'm going to be moving those away, because there's no way we can garden, and it kind of interferes with their flow path anyway to get out of their boxes. But we're going to figure that out when we get to it. Right now, we're just going to do our best to get them built. Okay, so here's our dirt pile. Yay. It's half and half planting mix. We had dumped off
So we could fill these raised beds specifically and then just kind of add a little extra fluff to the rows that we needed. But we do have our own compost, mushroom compost, and then something else that we're putting on those. So that goes pretty far all by itself. And then over here are the beds. So Kevin got these laid out. I love this. And then we're gonna mulch all the way around the bottom, but so cool. So sunflowers and flowers are gonna be going in here. We want them close to the bees, pollinators, whatnot. And then there's the 2 boxes I'm concerned about. A little too close. I'm probably gonna have to move those guys. So I'm just gonna start filling from the outside and work my way in, and we'll see how far we get. I'm headed to go get the wheelbarrow, but I'm just gonna walk you through the garden. Look at that. We grew our own rhubarb this year. How awesome is that? Obviously, if you're familiar with it at all, you know it's like one of the only things that probably survive that freeze at all. And we've got several of them, so I've been able to use that. If you've had our strawberry rhubarb jam, look at everything. Tomatoes, peppers, beans, eggplants. We only had 1 eggplant plant last year, and man, we just wish we had more, but we've had the hardest time growing them. So I'm really excited this year we have like about 30. So that should give us a pretty good yield. And it's something like I, as a vegetarian, like to eat all the time. We'll have fresh basil this weekend because I've got to top all these. And then tomatoes are going. And we actually have some tomatoes already producing, so that's even more exciting. Same, our beans are loaded up. So we're gonna get all those baby ones out of the way. Move on to some of these. Kind of struggling. We didn't think they would do as good, but these were Romas. They're a specific breed that I use for canning, so they're my absolute favorite. But I actually ordered more seeds, so if they don't make it, I'm gonna get somewhere in the ground ASAP. They're my go-to. And then these, I think they're zucchini. So, okras, lots of okra. We probably will plant like 7 more rows of that. All peppers. Do a lot of hot sauces, salsa, so most important things we need. And these have been really fabulous, these cover crops. They look kind of weedy, but they are not. They've kept 100% of the weeds out. They are self-mulching. Pollinators, I mean, look at these beautiful blooms. So nice. We've got butterflies galore right now. And then also too, they're really nutrient dense. They've got tons of nitrogen, and they're also going to help with compaction, which is our biggest issue. And we've got cloth for the so the landscaping cloth will just go right over it. It'll break this down, and all the good stuff will just go right into our soil. Lettuce this weekend. We had to clear these out and make room to cover because these are going to be sunflower beds. Look at them. They're so lovely. I can't wait to have more. So we're getting more of those started too. How cool are these composting bins that Kev made for us? So instead of just having a rando pile and like shifting it around and scooping it, moving it, we have like these where we can break the front down, scoop it, get everything that we need out of there, and then with summer around the corner, stuff's gonna break down so fast. A lot of the things that we have, like microgreens or seeds from when we do canning, we can't put with our regular compost. We get volunteer plants. Those are plants that pop up due to seeds, and when we start trays with the compost, like we don't know what we're gonna get. So we have all these sections where we can actually break them down, organized. This one's got shellfish, crawfish. This one is natural biomatter, so it's gonna be cardboard, weeds, anything but seeds. And then this one will be for leftover microgreen starts, anything with seeds. But it's just nice to be able to have it all separated. So we know what we're getting, we know what we're making, and yeah, it's great. Much better. Okay, so 1 cup of coffee and 50 change of plans later. Things aren't working out that great in our favor today, but there's still plenty to do. So we have a friend, a neighbor, coming to help us with the dirt. I moved several loads over to the raised beds, but it was really close to the bees. It was getting stung. They were getting irritated because I was moving fast. They generally don't like that. So he was going to come over and help us with his tractor, but I think he got called out for something. We saw him have to leave. So we might come back to that later. And then we were going to till all this up. So this has been covered, fertilized, and you can see we kind of have a little bit there. We also have squash, gourds, and cucumbers growing here already. And Kevin is trying to remove this fencing here, which is what separates this garden space from where our chickens and ducks were, because none of that is no longer needed. And hopefully we'll be able to add high tunnel or something really cool there, even expand the garden in the meantime until we get that sorted out. So he's working on the fencing, I was tilling, and then our tiller decided to crap out on us. So it looks like we broke a belt on that. So we're gonna have to take it to the small engine repair and get it fixed. So right now we're gonna go ahead and focus on all of this. So this is cover cropped here. We have mustards in all those beds, and then I still have this that I need to plant too. And we have a ton to plant, so not a problem there. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting it covered.